My story is a long story. I started the CTSM program 15 years ago when it originally began, and unfortunately with my job obligations and trade show schedule, I was unable to complete the program. And this year, for the first time, it's finally come around where I can complete the program, complete the exam and the portfolio, and it just goes to show you that persistency pays off.
So my story's 20 years in the making. I did trade shows way back in the day. I got back in after I lost my job. If I hadn't had the CTSM classes, I wouldn't have beat out the other 15 people. And if my story's not proof, my wife is now in the CTSM program, it pays off for her. And my daughter, the second generation, is now in the CTSM program, and it's paying off for her.
So my story developed out of sheer need. I was sitting at my desk one day. I was supposed to support a manager with his trade show program, and instead my boss quit, and my new boss at the time showed up at my desk with a paper show book back when they were in binders in 2007, and he said, "Betsy, you have a 50 by 70 booth, and your show is in 2 months, and you need to figure this out." So I started working, and I got to it, and I got to the show, and I survived. Could have done a little better, and that was when I realized I needed more education, and I found the CTSM program, and that's when I got started in the program. So I joined the program in 2008, and it became a complete addiction. I haven't left the trade show industry since. I haven't looked back, and I want to continue doing this. It's helped my career tremendously. I started my own business 4 years ago, and the CTSM gives me credibility. It gives me something to be able to tell my clients that sets me apart from just your average event planner.
My story is that I've been in the business working for GES, a leading supplier in the business, for over 10 years. Worked with many clients and worked on our own GES marketing programs, and felt that CTSM was really the culmination and the validation of the work that I had done. But what's interesting about CTSM is it has brought together all the different components and allowed me to really step back and look at what I've learned, and with all the classes that I've taken, I've learned new principles, new perspectives, and new tools, and so I'm adding those as I'm doing my work today. So it's really that culmination and validation of the work I've done, and the ability to lay it out through the portfolio and be able to reach that pinnacle of this part of my career.
My story begins back in education. I was trained to be a teacher. Life happened. I took time off to become a parent and stayed home with my family. When I re-entered the workforce, I ended up in a medical company, sat beside the gal who did the trade shows, who left right before the busy trade show season. Voila, I become trade show marketer, and I know nothing about it. Across the desk came this brochure for exhibitor show, and my boss had asked me if I wanted the job. I said, I want to do it well. And when this brochure came across the desk, I ran to the boss. I said, Jeff, I want the job. I need to go here. Will you support me? And if I go here, look, there's a certification program for trade show and event marketers. Will you support me in that? And he said yes. I became graduate number 16. Several years later, when the original program director resigned, Exhibitor was looking for a CTSM graduate to become the new director. With my educational background, voila, if it weren't for CTSM, I wouldn't be here. I'm the executive director of CTSM program, and it's a very big part of my life.